Hey guys, Quinn here. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to give you 5 simple steps on how to become a travel nurse. Now the first step is the most important step, and probably the most obvious one. You need to be a nurse to be a travel nurse. And to become a nurse, you need to obtain either a 2-year degree or a 4-year degree. A 2-year degree is your associate's or an ADN, and a 4-year degree is a BSN. If you haven't gotten your nursing license already, getting your BSN is highly recommended, but there are still ample amounts of 2-year courses still out there, and we don't need to get too into depth about that, but just know there are 2 options of going about it. Now, if you aren't a nurse already and you're trying to think of a career path to go, nursing is a great one. And if you didn't know, there is a shortage of nurses, so you'll never have trouble finding a job. And who doesn't like a little job security? The second step, after you have an RN degree, is obtaining at least 1 year of experience in the field that you want to work in. Now, 1 year is just the minimum requirement. The more experience you have, the easier it is for the agencies to place you in hospitals, and hospitals will be more likely to accept you for the position. The next step is finding an agency. Now, this is both an easy step and a difficult one. It's easy because there's plenty of agencies out there. It's difficult because you got to pick the right one for you. Now, for looking for agencies, like I said, it's very simple. It's as simple as a Google search. You can Google travel nurse jobs and a laundry list of travel agencies will pop up. I can list a few that I've worked for. I've worked for American Mobile Nursing, Flexcare, Next, One Staff Medical. I'm also kind of looking into Aya travel nursing right now. You can contact any of those, and if you do, you can tell them I sent you. Now, when deciding on an agency, it's important to determine what benefits and pay packages that they offer you. Now, benefits will always vary from agency to agency, but pay packages will especially vary. Not just by agencies, but also the states you work in and the specialty you work for. So, for example, I'm an ICU nurse. I look for pay packages that pay at least $2,000 a week. Now, that may limit me on the places that I go, but that's just what's important for me. So when deciding on the agency, it's really just important on what's important for you. The fourth step is traveling 50 miles away from your tax home. So your tax home is where you live. Now, 50 miles is the general common rule agreed upon by the government to say that you drive far enough away that you are considered a traveler to receive tax-free stipend money. And this is where traveling nurses make most of their money. So you receive a stipend both for housing and meals, and then you receive an hourly pay as well. So the final step is to maintain a state license and your certifications. Now, you should already have one state license, and that's whatever state you live in and pass the NCLEX for. Now, your certifications, you should have a basic certification, which is your CPR or BLS, that you probably had since nursing school, so just make sure that's always up to date. Going back to your licenses, being a traveling nurse, you can travel in your home state, which you don't have to apply for a new license. But for most travelers that I've come across, they like to travel to other states, so that you have to apply for another license. You don't have to take another test. You just have to apply, and the agency you work for can always assist you in applying for a new license, and sometimes they'll even pay that for you because there usually is an application fee. Now, looking into different states, depending on your state, there is something called a compact license, which means you can have your license in your home state if your state is part of the compact group, which there is 34 states that are part of the compact license, but regardless, it is definitely a nice perk. Now, some states, the application process takes longer than others, like California, from my experience and from my recruiters that I've worked for various agencies, takes the longest to get. Now, there is an exception. There's certain states that are called walkthrough states. There are a few of them the application process takes maybe 1 to 2 weeks, but in general, application process usually take 1 to 3 months. So make sure you plan ahead of time. For certifications, it depends on what specialty that you're in. So I'm an ICU nurse. I have my ACLS and my PALS, and I should have my CCRN, but I don't have that yet. So depending on your specialty, you might have a specialty certification for that field, as well as your CPR or other certifications. Just make sure you keep them up to date. And there you have it. Those are the 5 simple steps on how to become a travel nurse. Now remember, travel nursing is not exclusive to being a bedside nurse. A travel nurse can be a case manager, a supervisor, a nurse manager, a CRNA. It really doesn't matter. Although these things may require more education, we are all travel nurses. Thanks for watching. If you found this information to be helpful, hit that like button below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more helpful tips on travel and how to make more money.